What is going on, everybody? Great morning, conquering the markets all day long, all night long. It's a Friday session. Looking forward to sharing this one with you all. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss, and we're just going to find the flow and follow the flow and see how this session comes to be. There's some important things I wanted to cover with you. We're going to cover that definitely this session. By the way, number one, we'll start with Goldman Sachs. Right? The comment was, the insight was relaying that Goldman says that gold and Bitcoin can't coexist. I mean, rule number one, Fight Club, never trust an investment bank. I don't care what Goldman says, when they said it, it doesn't matter, right? They are for sure the enemy. They have ulterior motives. They're not looking out for us. That's for sure. They're not looking out for their clients. By the way, Goldman is notorious for trading against their own clients. F them, man. But what I'm saying is gold has a bright future, in my opinion. Now, Bitcoiners are amazing. Bitcoiners are this highly intellectual bust. I think some of the greatest intellect in the space is these early Bitcoiners. They are phenomenal. When they talk about how Bitcoin will eventually overeat gold, I mean, of course they're right, but that's many years out in the future, right? In today's world, central banks holding gold, it makes the gold. I love gold. I'm a big gold guy, right? And I could actually foresee myself absolutely positioning myself out of Bitcoin into gold. We will see. We'll talk about it as it happens. But I could foresee myself positioning out of Bitcoin into gold. Big fan of the shiny rock. All right. I'm glad to be here too. Thank you, everyone. Just want to start this off on a positive note. Received this this note this morning. Just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the whole community. Right, for what you do. I generally don't think that you know how many lives you have changed for the better. I mean, what a great morning. How nice to see that. That's exactly my goal. And to see that actually coming to fruition this year is beautiful. I think in 2021, I'm going to go ahead and start my really long-term goal of really starting that self-funding foundation that goes ahead and actually provides money assistance to those who have taken the vow of poverty themselves and help the poorest of the poor. That's what I want to do. All right, let's take a look over here at Bitcoin, right? This should be on everyone's mind. I want to start this off with a couple of things. Alan, I'm just going to go ahead and share his post this morning because he's saying that the rumor has it that today the U.S. Treasury Secretary is putting out a new transaction reporting rule. That's what the rumors are flying. I don't know what piece of information I read last night. I wanted to share it with you all this morning. But one caveat, right? We'll come back down over here. Alan's noting that it's saying that look at they're clear they're not banning Bitcoin. I don't think that was on anyone's radar, right? This is mostly about self-hosting. But one thing that I want to bring up is that from what I read, I'm not sure if it was on Bloomberg or where, that they're saying that it will be transactions under over $10,000 cannot be moved to your own hardware wallet. I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait for the details. Watch out for that. Let's see how the market reacts to that. I also want to share this with you. I'll share that with you in 1 second. First, let's go into real time. Let's look at Bitcoin over here, and we can see that we continue to consolidate over here, which so far is super healthy. I say so far because look, it looks like a top. I said yesterday, it looks like a topping pattern to me, right? I remember early on in my career, this type of price action, I would like FOMO in following it. Look, it's not a chart pattern that I recognize. I did say one of my lifelong goals is to study topping and bottoming patterns whenever I get that free time. But look, right now it's consolidating. I'm very cautious. There's no way I'm looking to sell. I think that one of the greatest risks this market is not participating in this move. Could something like U.S. Treasury Secretary introducing any new regulation set off a bearish move in Bitcoin? Of course. The market sometimes just looks for triggers. At the end of the day, what's being introduced is really not going to derail anything whatsoever. Even if it was, you cannot, quote unquote, self-host anything because all of these large funds and institutions, they have no need to self-host anyway. So anyway, I'm not too concerned about it. I want to start there. Be aware. I don't know what's going to happen. How about that? Let's start there. I have no idea what happens next on Bitcoin. That's the clarity I'm bringing you today. And the only reason I say that is because I have no idea, right? And there we are. Watch the support over here at 22,000. If that breaks, then we're looking at probably a bigger pullback. A pullback into this area of 20,000 is super healthy anyway. So no worries whatsoever. This is the one that you want to watch for. If we broke below that breakout over here, that would be a bad sign technically. You know, obviously, they're literally, in my mind, in Jordan's mind, are no worries about moving forward through this bull market, about like, you know, outside of, we've seen a lot of these hacks lately, like quote unquote hacks, you know, outside of them taking down the internet, but that would be temporary and that would be terrible beyond just Bitcoin if they did that. I'm not saying they're going to do that. Please do not like mess up my words over here. As long as we trade above this trend line over here, we are super solid. All right. That's what I want you to watch over the weekend. If I'm not with you, I will update on Twitter. You all know that. But if we break below that trend line, then we are looking at a bigger, more sustained pullback. I want to focus in on this tweet over here. This is by Bit Harrington. All right. And he's pointing out, look, at least 50% of all Bitcoin bull markets are bearish and or boring. I like the boring part, right? Here's the 2017 run, and this is appropriate to look at because this is now where we are, right? We are now, like, we are right here. This is us today, right? We skipped this 30% pullback. Nah, I'm sorry, I'm off on that. Either which way, let's just look at this together. Look at these. These are from all-time high to all-time high. This over here, we have a period of about 2 months, another period of about 2 months, another period of about 2 months. So number one, right, is this cycle from having to peak a little faster? I think so. Does that mean maybe that we could be looking at 6 weeks? Maybe. That seems reasonable. Will we have any of these sustained sideways price movements? I don't really look at this as bearish. I'd look at it as sideways, right? But it is, right? Price taking a couple of months to go hot and make new all-time highs. So just be aware. It's the reason I'm focusing on this morning. I really wanted to do a whole presentation this morning with you on what's the most important mindset right now. I think it's absolutely crucial, right? So let me talk about that with you really quick right now. I'm going to stay on this chart as I do it. This is what you have to focus on. Your job is to get from here to here this year. It's to get from here to here this year. And it's to do it. Like, this is the most important trade. This takes all of your focus right now. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people, lots of close friends. Everyone wants to pick up alts right now. Everyone wants to start trading alts. Everyone's focus is off the prize. The prize is Bitcoin. This is the trade that matters. This is the trade you need to get right. This needs to have all your focus. And that focus also needs to include you're not getting shaken out of your positions. You need to have that core position that you're holding the whole way through. And if we make it to 140,000, you could walk away and you can say, I accomplished everything that I set out to accomplish, right? Then what's next? Let's go. Right? That's what you need. You need to be there, because if you're not there with us come September, October, November, whenever it is, right? That's going to break I'm not going to be happy about that. I want everyone to be there with me. You have to be strong mentally right now. It's so important. It's so important. I think people take it for granted. I think people take it lightly. Those people that are doing that, they're going to make mistakes. You cannot make mistakes. You have to make sure that this moment in time, which is rare, this is so rare. You're here with all of us. People think that everyone sees it and that it's just a forget. No, this is the hardest part, is staying focused, right? So anyway, I want to make sure everyone's there with me. That's all. Yeah. You can let them fly. You can leave. The door is yours. To be honest, I'm here to share with whoever wants it. And if you don't care, then just, bye. Really, it means nothing to me. You know, this is for people who want to share this journey, people that I care about, and that's it. All right, so let's go. All right, and obviously I think that's not the target anymore. I made it amply clear. I made it abundantly clear yesterday. I think we're going much higher, double that. I just want to make sure at 140,000 you've reached your goals. That's what we're looking at here together. All right, everyone. Today is triple quad. You got them both over there, mutant, beautiful witching day. That doesn't really mean anything to us unless you're a day trader, right? That doesn't mean anything else. I didn't see Heath's video because it was put up this morning. I'll watch it after, right? Really looking forward to that. If anyone missed that, that's on Trade Talk. Not only that, it's posted in the Conquering Trading and Investing broadcast channel. If you're not on that channel, if you're missing the updates, in the description below is the link to that Telegram channel. Best community ever. Best community ever. It just gets better and better. 2021 is going to be extraordinary. Really looking forward to it. So, all right. Anything else that we want to add to Bitcoin over here, right? Let's just watch what happens if we get down over here. And at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we broke out above here. To me, it looks like a tapping pattern. I don't even know what kind of accent that is. That's not even a New York accent. But I don't know what happens next. I'm just very clear about that. It's not often you hear those words out of my mind, right? Out of my mind. There's not often you hear those words out of my mouth, but I'm going to give it to you as it is. I have no idea what happens next. I just see that we're consolidating. I have my 2 risk levels to work off of, and I'm not lightening up on my position whatsoever. The only way I would lighten up on my position if we got a bad technical break. Okay, just so you all know, and that's the tough thing, right? Because you have the traders who are positioned solidly. What does that mean? No leverage on the pullbacks. They could step in and buy, right? And if you're trading lightly leveraged, you got to be careful. I don't know. That's what it is. It's a dance. All right. What are we looking over there? Thanks for the big shout out to Heath's video over there. Looking for that, right? Look, like I say this with all sincerity, everybody in this room should know exactly when we're looking to add on Bitcoin. And if you don't, that's awesome. Thank you for asking that question. It's a Friday. Look, it's very simple. So I take it for granted. It's very simple, right? At all times, expect a 30% pullback. Understand the market has shown us since the halving, since over here, the market has shown us there's only been, and counting this pullback here, this 20% pullback, to another 20% pullback and 116.5% pullback, which means for me, Jordan, as the market pulls back 15% from the high, I will begin to add. I will be scaling in. I will save lots of ammo in case we pull back 20, 25%. I'm getting in before the 30%. I'm not even waiting for that full 30% pullback. Only add on pullbacks. VJ, by the way, VJ is, let me go ahead and retweet this. VJ, by the way, said that people ask about buying, when to buy. And you look, in bear markets are for dollar cost averaging, and bull markets are for market orders. I agree completely with that. So just a heads up over there. And also, by the way, to me, 22,000 Bitcoin is cheap. I just want to make a really strong point of that right now. As I did back over here when we were right towards 13,000, right? And people got so mad at me. I was like, 13,000 Bitcoin's cheap. Doesn't matter for those that are waiting for 12,000 or 10,000. 13,000 is cheap when you're looking at the targets we're looking at. $22,000 Bitcoin, in Jordan's opinion, is on sale this morning. All right, let's take a look at the markets this morning. We saw the DXY bid. No, that's not bid. Look, people last night were worried that like all of a sudden people were coming here buying dollars. This is just normal price fluctuation, right? You saw over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions down in a row. To put up one session over there, that's normal price fluctuation. That's nothing, right? Markets can't go straight up or down forever. There's nothing to see or do over here on the DXY right now. Obviously, we're just looking at a sustained weakening dollar. We all know why. We've all been all over that. There is zero. It's Friday. First of all, just be aware of your surroundings, right? It's Friday, all right? There's nothing to add to the conversation over here yet. We don't know what's next for the dollar. Interesting. How often does Jordan go out saying this type of stuff? Over here, right? People are aware. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. It's quad witching day over here. Expect some volatility today. That's all fine. That's all noise. Let's pay attention to what's going on here technically. You can see this is a perfect conquering the markets entry over here this morning. Everyone can see it. I don't need to point it out. Here you have that resistance breakout. Remember Jordan yesterday? Wait. Here came the retest, and now we're resuming off. Why it's a perfect entry? because you know where your stop is, look at your risk, and completely manage. That's all trading is. If you do this all year long, you will be a profitable trader. That's up to you whether or not you have the patience and the fortitude to do it, right? That's up to you. Beautiful. That's all. We're going to leave it there. Beautiful. I'm going to go through just really quick, take a look at what's going on, and then we're going to get into a Friday sesh where we're just going over and seeing what's on your guys' minds and just having fun question and answer time. All right. So Nasdaq, I'm trying to see over there. That's the last bit of resistance I could put into. I wouldn't chase that. The S&P looked pretty. This looks, Nasdaq printing new all-time highs as we speak. By the way, Tesla is getting ready to be added to the S&P 500. I saw a lot of quants doing, past analytics. And when they talk about when a Tesla is the largest market cap ever added to the S&P 500. They did lots of research, and they said that, in the past, when large market caps stocks companies have been added to the S&P 500, in the following year, 12 months later, they've traded down 7%. Now, when I'm thinking about what's going on over here, when I'm thinking about what 2021 is going to look like, and I want to do this with you with one thing. Going into 2020, just about every single investment bank in the world was like, listen, 2020 is just going to be a beautiful, easy year with zero chance of recession. Every single one of them was wrong. We cannot make any type of future predictions 12 months out. That's crazy. I can't do it 3 months out. I could just do it off the 8 hour. We could only follow what's going on in front of our face and stay on the right side of the trade. I can say with certainty that there's no other channel, there's no other fund, there's no other whatever you want to call it. There's no one else who's been on the right side of the market as well as us. Period. Right? Not even close. So that's what we'll continue doing over here. What about the Dow and the Russell? Just continues to consolidate, waiting for that breakout. I think it's going to break out, but we'll see. And then we got the Russell. Is that concerning? Let's keep tracking this trend line over here, by the way. This is time to add this trend line over here. I'm going to make that a little darker. And that's something that we have over there. If we break down below, we're going to look for a bigger retrace and or for some sideways price action. So we'll have to be aware of that. That's a little bit of help. Hold on one second. I don't like those extended right things. All right. What else? Gold and silver, awesome today because they're pausing. They've had a fantastic week. It was on Monday in the afternoon update when I was like, listen, gold has separated. Look for those alligator jaws to shut. That's what we saw this week. The timing right there was lucky. How about that? And then we also have, it's all luck. And then, and silver, I've said, looks like the better trade than gold ever since when? Ever since I don't know, for about a month now, I've been saying, or a few weeks that silver is looking gold. And here we are still flirting with getting above this area here of 26. I believe that's really when we're going to start seeing the magic happen. Is there anything else we want to look at? Ethereum, just check in really quick. Continues to look super bullish in my mind, above 622. Watch out if we do see any type of regulation passed, right? That could actually, because of the DeFi sector, that could actually hurt Ethereum the most, in my opinion. We'll see. I want to step back for a second, see what's going on over here. What is Domino's Pizza? There we go. All right, everyone. I'm gonna bring it over and focus it on you right now. See what we got going on this morning. That's right, Richard. Thank you for correcting me. I knew that was wrong when I said that. Absolutely. It's not wrong. You know what it is? It's just hard work. It's just hard work. Actually, I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to get a strike for it or not. I don't care if I do. Let me bring up this video for you.
True, and the reason people say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard. And you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And
that's it right there. You have no idea that Steve right there is actually describing my trading career. First of all, I don't even know how I did it. I have no, you don't understand I don't even know how I did it. So it was so difficult. It was ridiculous, right? There were some days that was so dark. It was lonely. I was me by myself, right? Forever. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I ended up coming through that tunnel. Man, and I think some of the greatest mistakes were the early successes I had in my career, because when can you imagine a young 20-year-old kid putting together that kind of money, just thinking like it's normal and it's easy, not knowing anything, and then going through years of darkness and just trying to struggle it out and do it. Man, I don't know how I did it except for not having the passion. I had the passion and I had the determination and the perseverance, and it's all worth it. And it's all worth it today to be able to interact, to share with you, to go ahead and just be like, listen, here's what you need to do and here's what you can't do. And to be able to have, to be able to have the honor of just trying to get everyone here huddled together and just lay out what needs to be done and bring everyone together down that path. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful, and it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it, right? So anyway, the harder you work, the luckier you get, man. Anyway, thank you, Soul Food. And that's all it is. And that's all it is, right? So anyone, let's open it up over here. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Thank you. Perseverance, patience. Right? Let's dig deeper on gold. We could do that for sure. Absolutely. Right back at. I'm so grateful for all of you, man. 2020 has been full of abundant blessings. I'm so grateful for this community. It is absolutely just something very, very special. It's extraordinarily special. I can't imagine what 2021 is going to do here. Amazing. Anyway, let's dig on deeper on gold. I don't have my gold chart anymore. I got rid of them, right? All right, let's gold is this. You ready? I'm just going to keep it very simple, right? Bull market consolidating down in this channel. It's like a big bull flag. We're getting ready to break out. If you're really interested in gold, right? 1914 is the key. Why 1914? Why not now? If I'm waiting for 1914, listen, there's no given that we make it up on this run over here. 1914 is the gold mark over there. It's gold because that's where you want to get into gold. I'm keeping it simple and easy. And you know what? I could really clean up my charts and get into it for you. We have this line over here. Let me go ahead and add this, right? You could see where price would be breaking out right now. If we were able, you could see that price would have to get above what? 1914 to break out of that resistance. That's where the trade should, if it's working out, right? That's when the trade should really start to take off. It's that breakout right now. You're coming into an area of resistance, and it is resistance, right? There's a lot going our way right now. We have a huge wild card, by the way, and that continues to be Brexit, right? The talks and negotiations are still going on. You can see over here the pound is a little bit off today. That probably looks like it's going down to the wire. Probably on New Year's Eve that we'll get a deal, and maybe not. But how that affects gold and the gold market, that remains to be seen. That could be short term. That could put a short term bid into the dollar. Normally, something like that would put a bid into the gold. But I don't know. Things are different. Look over here, by the way. Above this 1895 level, this resistance over there, you're still not out of the woods. Why do I say that? That's big resistance. But then over here, do you see all of this? This was all support. It's strong support. And then over here, we came into, it's a big level. That's 1914. Just be patient, right? The worst thing you could ever do is get into a trade before you get the trigger, hoping or just like thinking that it's going to go your way. Don't do that. It's trade from a position of strength. Yeah, you don't like that? You don't like trading from a position of strength? Oh man, zoom in and have a good look. Silver. I mean, we focused really so much on gold and silver this week. I feel like everyone should have a really good indication for it. But I'm gonna, look. Anyway, I don't know how much to add, but you can see again over here that strong area of support, strong resistance right now. Look at that touch over there. We're into it right now and consolidating, right? Do you want, I mean, obviously no one wants to take a position that I know of this Friday right over here right now before the weekend in a market that closes. But, we're just waiting for a long time, right? Get above 26. Silver looks so beautiful, by the way. Look at this. It looks so beautiful. And, to the trade of 2021, I really believe it. Bitcoin on the side. Would you, let's say, Jordan, would you entertain the possibility that if pullbacks this cycle are lower than 30%, then maybe the price will also not climb more than 140% before pulling back? That would hinder strategy number 3. Listen, the way that I see it, just so you understand what's going on in my mind, and that's really all I could share with you, is what's going on in my mind, is I'm leaning more towards strategy 1, which is funny. I just want to make sure I'm fully positioned for the whole, because what we are seeing is different nuances in this bull run. People are like, listen, there's a ton of institutions in there, and therefore it's going to be different. And I was like, no. But we're seeing it being different so far, in that the volatility of the downside has been less. So I have to start scaling in for strategy 2 a little bit quicker, right? Listen, I feel comfortable now as price rises and my average price continues to be further and further away from market, now scaling in more. So on this pullback, if we get a pullback that's 15%, is it 15%, by the way, into this area? There, it's a 15% into that good technical, right? We're all watching that breakout. So we know breakout, retest, resumption. So if we get a retest all the way down over here of that breakout towards the 19,500 level, I will be adding happily, and also expecting a possible 15% pullback, which would take us, another 15% pullback, taking us towards 16,500, right? If we broke down below there, we'll be having some meetings, something's off. The question though, Samuel, was, do I think that will not also climb more than 140%? No. When I put 150%, right, for taking profit, I think that is on the lower end to be conservative. You all know that I kind of tend to be conservative, right? We're looking more towards 160, 170% on those moves. So if you want to do 140% and get out a little early, you could do that. But I would focus more on strategy 1 and strategy 2 rather than strategy 3. I sincerely would focus a lot more on strategy 1 and 2 than 3, right? Because strategy 3 could get tricky. All right. Look, the only thing, this is the best advice you could hear when it comes to the miners. Max Kaiser, I would say that's his space, right? I'm not an expert, or I can't even have a conversation when it comes to the miners. How about that, right? It's an extraordinarily risky industry. It's risky because you have mines located around the world in these regions that are like, let's just call them political hotspots, where the government at any point in time could go ahead and nationalize the mine, right? You also have it's highly dependent on the management of the mines. There's a lot of moving pieces over there. If you're invested, you have to be an expert. Max Kaiser, he was like, listen, at this point in time, I'm just going to only invest in the ETFs, right? And then you have, I forget her name. She's wonderful to listen to. She's now the host of Stanbury Research. She used to be the former editor-in-chief of Kiko News. And she's interviewing the most important people in the space all the time. And she's also like, listen, it's the most difficult thing to do. So if you're interested in the miners, probably check out ETFs. So I drop in daily and sit quietly. Thank you, brother. Thanks for letting us know over here. How is the pound going to be affected if there's an agreement on Brexit? The pound is going to be extremely bid, in my opinion, if there is an agreement on Brexit. That's what the market has been showing us up until this point. The market has been showing us the pound is bid if there's a deal, and if there is no deal, the pound is going to be sold off. However, Jordan believes if the pound is sold off with a no deal, that could be a really, really strong buying opportunity. You just have to time it right. You can't just step in there and catch that falling knife, right? Kips, we missed you this week, brother. Lots of love your way. We really missed you. Good to see you in here this morning. Kips, listen, we've been trying to get a hold of you. We really need you to reach out on Conquer Trades. Send me an email. You have to send me an email, whether it's through the YouTube channel, my email address is, you have to send me an email. Heath has, he's been trying to reach out to you. All right. So what else we got going over there? Right. Strawberry jam, bringing in the tacos and the popcorn, ready for Tesla's show. Strawberry jam. Thanks, brother. Great to see you in here today. Always bringing a smile. Right. So what else we going on over there? Jordan, do you think there will be a bill that can hurt Ethereum? Yeah, look, near term, it's none of it's signal in my opinion. But yeah, like, is the market reacting appropriately right now? I don't know. Listen, it's not often that I'm like, listen, I don't know. I don't know what happens next on Bitcoin. That's why I'm fully positioned. I don't know what happens next. You know? What would the highest total allocation if you're not selling? George, that depends on the person, right? Going back, right around 9,000, 9,500, I was fully positioned into Bitcoin, over half my net worth. And I've since increased that position. And that position is obviously that allocation has significantly risen, where it now is way over 50% of my net worth. That's up to you what your fully positioned means, right? Seen someone present evidence that silver is leading Bitcoin. So we saw that earlier in the year. We saw gold leading silver earlier in the year. And then we saw silver leading Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was lagging the two. But Bitcoin is leading both at this point in time. So that's Anthony. Bitcoin is outperforming everything by a significant. I mean, when I say everything, I don't mean Ethereum. Ethereum's still outperforming Bitcoin on the year, no? Morning, Brad. What's going on, my brother? All right, what else is going on over there? Is that what's going on over there? Oh, I'm not up on it. We're looking at grayscale, right? Is grayscale? Is that what's going on over there? I'm not up on that. There we go, Gary. Love to hear that. Love to hear it. It's Danielle. Thank you, Edward, for sure. 9 for 1. All right. Peter, don't panic. Grayscale split Ethereum 9 for 1 this morning. First I'm hearing, I heard about the split. First I'm reading the details about it this morning. So your holidays may appear to have dropped. Oh, so your holdings may appear to have dropped when they haven't. Great public service announcement over there, Peter. Thank you for that. She is great. Great interviews. Definitely appreciate her. That's right, Kips. Just another big shout out over there. The pound will shoot when they shake out the hands. Long pound now for 3 months. That's nice, sitting from a position of strength. That was towards the low. No, wasn't it? Right? We got Greg giving a shout out for the miners. HGU ETF to look into. Daniela, right? 390 light. That's all right. I'm just happy to be here. That's all. I'm happy to be here, being able to kick this session with you guys here on this Friday afternoon. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, I sincerely appreciate all the messages you guys have been reaching out to me. I'm a little overwhelmed. That's all. Yep, there you go. All right, Kips. Just no, always, Kips. You're with us in spirit. That's for sure. Let's take a look. What's going on over here? Let's take a look at what's going on over here. Did everyone see that? We had that. We were looking at that earlier in the week. Right over there was became. This is when on it together we were looking at this. Right. Look what happened. Resuming off, holding steady. Keep your stop loss in. That's what this is, right? Because if we trade back below this resistance over there, right, it's just get out of the trade, wait for it to repair itself, and get back in. But if anyone who took this long right now, that was a great looking entry just a couple of days ago. Time to take profit. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole. I was going back and saying, all these quants putting out this research, large cap, any stock that's usually added to the S&P 500, that's usually its interim top. And then you could do any large cap, they're saying generally trades down the next year. This year is different. I'm sorry to say. That's why I was saying in 2020, all investment banks were like, yeah, 2020 is going to be just a super easy year. No chance of recession. I mean, when I say 2021 is going to be easy, I'm looking at that it could be different when it comes to Tesla in the amount of liquidity being added to the markets monthly. I am watching for the housing market. I am watching for that being a big issue. It really all comes down to what happens in Georgia, right? It really comes down to who wins the runoff election in Georgia. Because if the Republicans win, we're going to be getting a lot less help from GOV. That's for sure. And that $900 billion stimulus package is going to go down probably towards 600,000. If the Democrats win, then we're going to see a much bigger package at that point where I think we're going to start seeing. So we'll see. I don't know. Way too few likes for the amount of people watching, Aaron. Hey, listen, if you're watching here, listen, here's the deal. If you appreciate being here, go ahead and smash that like button. If you learn anything new, smash that like button. Listen, if you appreciate me spending the time with you, smash that like button. If you appreciate all this knowledge the community is sharing and dropping with you, smash that like button, right? So we got green third eye. Jordan, use me as an example of how not to trade. I bought more. All right. Let's talk about that. Yeah. And if the free world's got you shook, go ahead and smash that down button. I don't care. I don't care. So anyway. Ben. Look. If you're trading BitW, right? If you're trading the Bitwise top 10 index over here, people are wondering what's going on over here as the premium is very volatile. This is a newly launched product. If you are buying into this, please do not trade. If you are buying into this, please look to hold this for the whole bull market. It's that easy, but honestly, you make it difficult when you're starting to trade this, right? Listen, I consider myself an expert when it comes to trading, and I'm sitting here being like, listen, the best thing you could do is not trade. So it's up to you whether you decide to trade or not. Maybe you know better. That's quite possible. But if you want to be able to take advantage of this current situation, this unique special moment in time, this 2021 bull market run, you want to be holding here. This is, are we going to be trading higher than 200 come 9-10 months from now? I think so. I have no idea how it all works. I don't. Brandon, by the way, let's get Brandon's channel up on here. Brandon was uploaded a video last night. I haven't seen it yet. I just heard about it. Who was talking about how the premium works on Grayscale. I'm not sure if he got into also on the BitW, but there's something that I want to know about. I'm going to go ahead and just push his channel over here. If you want to go ahead and you want to watch that video later, do that. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. A lot of families got involved. Really, really excited for that. Really excited for that. Yeah, so do I. So this is why I do this. I learn something new every day. I am a student of the markets. There's no question about that. I kind of focus on what the market's bringing to my attention, right? And what is the market bringing us to our attention today? In my opinion, right? Let's first of all, right? Let's the situational awareness. What's next week? No trading. What's the week after? No trading, right? We're coming up to the 2-week period where there's simply no trading, right? Now, what else is that? I'm talking about swing trading over here. I'm talking about on the 8-hour time frame. What else does that mean? All right, today is Friday, right? Should you be trading going into the weekend right now? And listen, that's where we're at. So I'm hanging out here, having a good time, talking about the markets with you, waiting to see how this session unfolds. And that's where we are. How's my Spanish? Listen, I mean, I could get into an Uber and ride for an hour and be able to have a conversation with my broken Spanish, easily. But, learning English was very difficult for me, my mother tongue. I can't sound out words. I had to learn English by memorization. Therefore, it's incredibly hard to learn a second language. I talk to my kids until they're about 3 years old in Spanish, but I would say it's very poor. So what else are we looking at? Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Let's take a look over here. Let's see what she's doing over here. All right. Look at this. This gave an entry overnight, right? Over here. No, it didn't. What session are we in right now? I can't even make up my mind. Right? 847. We have the new bar open a little bit. Just opened over here. Yeah, that could give an entry right over here. This is now turning to support. She's holding up, right? This is the bull flag. This is that never needs to be a little bit darker. By the way, apologies. I don't have a flow today, right? But this whole week, I was telling my wife what a week it's been, right? And you got to work through what you got to work through, right? You got to deal with the cards you're given. But he's put out a video this morning. I didn't get to see it yet. I'm looking forward to it, right? So we got a bull flag over here. Breaking out here to the upside, retest of this resistance over here, now flipping to support. It looks entirely bullish to me. I'm not adding over here on a Friday. So I'm just standing aside, watching and waiting. That's all. The mother tongue is the first language that you learn as a child, right? That's the mother tongue. Yeah, my Spanish has gotten significantly. I also lived in Argentina for 8 months, not speaking Spanish. What a strange life I have lived. But I lived in Argentina for 8 months. It's, by the way, if you want to try something difficult, live in a country that you don't speak the language. My English sounds, yeah, I'm American. But by the way, when I'm traveling over Eastern Europe, they're like, "Oh, your English is so good." So I guess my English is not that good. They always tell me how good my English is. Yeah, Branson Brothers. I love following our community on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I'm following you. I love that we could extend what we share in here later in the day over on Twitter. And I enjoy all of your thoughts and comments. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's what exactly on the Russell. Let's take a look at it over here. And the trajectory is pretty high and tight, but that means that on these type of moves, that's not a parabolic trend line, by the way. Like this is a parabolic move over here. And I say that with tongue in cheek. That's also not a parabolic move. That's not a parabolic blow off top. And by the way, like if anyone wants to know what a parabolic blow off top is, we'll come right back to the Russell. Just come over here and you go to December 2000. Right, that's parabolic. That's a parabolic move, right? And that's, by the way, 1/3 of the whole move could happen in the shortest amount of time during that parabolic blow off top. But the trajectory of the Russell here is here, right? Add this trend line to your chart. As long as you stay above it, this move is pumping and there's no worry signs. If you break this trend line, one of two things happens. Either you have a big, strong sell-off. That could take us all the way back down. We should start adding in the support here at 1872. I'll just go all the way down over here and drag one up, right? That's something to watch out for. Put it up a little bit higher. Actually, I'm going to put it up a little bit higher over to 1893. Or you could go sideways. But yeah, Russell continues to pump. Ran out of matcha. I'm almost out of matcha. It's true. No, I mean, listen, nothing. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this weekend, right? Let's see what happens this weekend. Bitcoin is doing nothing. Bitcoin is consolidating over here, right? Everyone can see it. So we have our 2 points above this trend line over here, right? We're still very, very bullish over here, right? We're just consolidating, and we should be consolidating after the price action we saw this move was this massive move up, right? So by the way, what was that since the breakout? That was a 20% move. To be consolidating that move, that's awesome. But I'm not going to be looking, Jordan, I'm not going to be looking for a pullback until we get towards 40,000. How about that? Because everyone knows I was looking for the pullback here, and I nailed it. I'm going to just say it straight up. I nailed it. And by the way, most of the market was looking for a pullback in this area. I put out the tweet. If you're looking for a pullback, you're wrong. Check your math, right? And then I was looking for the pullback, and I was wrong. It was less than I expected. But as soon as we recovered, I changed that. I said, all right, look what this is all I'm doing. 150% off of here. That brings us towards 40,000. That's what I'm tracking. Does that mean that we can't have a 30% pullback now? No. So anyway, again, wow. Vietnam. I heard it's so beautiful. I don't know. I heard it's so beautiful though. Yeah. The food is beautiful. Are we looking at, let's check out Ethereum. Yes, I am. I pointed this out to the Telegram group as we hit that initial pullback. But you all see what's happening? So, right, this is Jordan's opinion on Ethereum, right? This was a big resistance line over here, right? 621. We're trading above it now. So, like, those that want to get involved in Ethereum, like, this is your opportunity over here, right? This is your opportunity this is when I pointed it out, right? As we came into that first retest right over there, right? We've already retested the level. We're holding, right? By the way, always use stops. Always use stops. You cannot set the position of your trade without knowing where your stop loss is. It's impossible. Always use stops. But over here, this is beautiful because this 621 gives you a really, really good risk level to have your stop loss in. Now, by the way, if you're really looking to get into a position trade on Ethereum, I don't think, 800 Ethereum, I think is going to come in pretty soon. Now, wild card is we could see some U.S. Treasury legislation, regulations introduced. That could make it for a lively weekend if it's introduced on Friday, right? Be aware. But this trend line over here, right? This trend line trading below that's very bearish, a bearish event technically. So what I would do if you're looking for a position trade over here, right? Have your stop loss below here, right around 563. Position size accordingly. This is for a position trade on Ethereum. If you're looking to swing trade it, you're waiting for this resumption off here. You had one over here. If you didn't take that, you're waiting for the next resumption with a tighter stop loss right below the support. But I was saying yesterday, I was really focusing on, I think now is the time if you're looking at alts to really focus in on them. And nothing's ever easy. So, and why I say that is because we could see that regulation today. Let's look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. I think it was Brad who gave a beautiful chart on this. I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit to show you something that he was looking at. And I'm going to just add, this is the trend line that he showed us over here. Right? So everyone could see that trend line over there. And you see what's going on if you look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, right? You all know that I was tracking this descending wedge pattern over here. And sorry about my flow. It is what it is, right? You could see all that descending wedge. And then we broke out. And now we're coming in This looked healthy. We tried to retrace. I'm not zooming in right now. We tried to retrace into it. It failed below that area of support over here at 0.3, right? But now you're coming in, and this is Brad gave me this clarity over here, and that's clear as day as you come into that trend line over there. A resumption off of there, that looks like a beautiful entry on Ethereum, Bitcoin. You know, again, I'm just gonna say it one more time. Watch out. Make sure you have your stops in. Yeah, I lived in San Diego and Coronado with my bride. I think we lived there for about a little less than a year. Oh, do I ever come to Coronado? It's been a while. It's been a while. No, Derek, great question. Awesome question, Derek. Look, if you're not taking new trades the last 2 weeks, and by the way, whether it's the last 2 weeks of August and the last 2 weeks of December, I am certain it's not the time to be trading off the 8 hour on FX. And I also do it just because the most important thing you could have as a trader is discipline, right? I know that if I break a rule, I'm setting myself up for future failure. It's why I don't trade during the Asian session as well. But yes, no, if you have any open trades you're pushing, continue to monitor them, continue to manage them. You don't need to close them, Derek. You don't need to close them at all. Do not close them. Continue to manage them. All right, what else are we looking at? I think Oanda is absolutely exceptional. It is an amazing platform. I highly, highly, highly recommend using Oanda. And if you could connect it to TradingView, it is absolutely fire because you could figure out your position sizes with ease. I think Oanda connecting to TradingView is the best thing since sliced bread. De nada, amigo. Yeah, Richard, that's all on you. Listen, that's all on you. Amazing. Amazing trading. That's all on you, Richard. Beautiful work, right? Listen, I just want to man. Listen. You guys are gonna say don't apologize. I apologize for the session, right? Anyway, I do. But listen, this comment over here, I just want to say thank you. I've been trying to work on this last week. I'm always looking to work on myself. I'm absolute failure, right? I always have so much room to improve, right? But I'm always trying to better myself, right? And that's like, you have to be patient with yourself because it's like waves, ups and downs, peaks and valleys. Sometimes we're doing well, sometimes we're doing not. But you always have to have that just perspective that you could always be looking to learn new things, always looking to improve. And one of the things that I sincerely lack at is being able to take compliments, right? So I'm trying to change that because if someone is willing to take the time and to either compliment you or say thank you, by me not responding well or being able to take that, that's also doing them a disservice. Think about that. If that's also doing them a disservice, right? And anyway, I'm trying really hard to work on that, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you for letting me know that. So the question is why I think the pullbacks on Bitcoin are much shallower. So when I first read that, I was like, well, because that's what the market is showing us. But what he means is why is that? So all right, first of all, two things. I'm not a why guy, right? Like I say, like Lynn Alden, she's a why girl. She'll tell you exactly why whatever is happening, and I'm just kind of like a what is person. Like the sky is blue. Yeah, like the sky is blue. I don't know why the sky is blue, and I don't like, and both are awesome, right? So I know that the market is showing me so far the pullbacks are shallower, so I have to pay attention to that. Could it be because of institutional money? For sure. Could it be? I mean, we're seeing massive amount of funds from high net worth individuals in the US, and then we're seeing massive amount of monies from public companies, and then we're seeing massive amount of monies we just saw another $1 billion fund launched into Bitcoin this week. We're seeing massive amount of Wall Street money coming in. And then we're also seeing a lot more people aware of the cycle. And I think that's important. That's also plays a piece in it all. And look, to protect myself, I'm still aware that we could have bigger pullbacks. How's the SPY doing? We'll even look at the SPY for you. You ready? I'm just going to look at this really quick to show you this. Could you see this in your mind right now? I'll come back over to the S&P 500. That's this. All right, so we're coming in for that retest right now. Let me go back to the SPY so you can see it. Why is that different? That's interesting. Because that's that, Jordan. This is the support. This is this line over here, right? And this line up here on the SPY is this up here. And you can see we're coming back in for that retest right now, right? So look, it's a volatile day. If you're in a long position, where's your stop loss right now? Is that the question, right? We could take a look at that very easily, right? Where's your stop loss if you entered this trade right over here, right? Would that be the entry that people would have took? Breakout, retest, resumption. So if you took the entry over there, right, where is your stop loss? A lot of traders, they go with that. This would be the right over here. That would be their stop loss. Let me just clean up that chart really quick so we can get a better view, and I'm going to go over that with you. Right? Hold on one second. I want everyone to see clearly. Right? So, and then there's the 8 hour. So over here, you have the resistance, the breakout. Here's the retest. And then this bar is the resumption up over here. Now, it's Friday. We all know that rule. But anyway, and it's also a quit watching day. We all know that rule. But if you took this trade over here, a lot of traders will put your stop loss right over there, right? Below the, right there's the low of that bar. Here's the entry bar. That's one place to do it. That's probably the best place to do it. And over here would be another great place to put it. But depending on where you put your stop loss, that actually actually is dependent on how big your position size is going to be, right? So it's hard to say because it's not a trade that I was looking at or would want. And what happens if you got stopped out right over here? What happens if you got stopped out over here and then we resume off over here? You're not going to take an entry this session over here, making a higher high that far away for the market on a Friday. So if you took that stop loss, I think you take your medicine and you just wait until see what happens on Monday. That's what I think. And if you didn't take that stop loss and you're still holding this trade, look, you got to be aware of what, like, you can't enter a trade and not have your stop loss already in. Like, if you're doing that, if you're in a trade and then you're looking for where your stop loss should be, you're doing it wrong and you're not going to be successful. This is like 101. This is one of the most essential things there is in trading. So you cannot know what your position size is without knowing how far away your stop loss is. And if you're doing that, you're doing it wrong. And if you're going to throw a thumbs down for that, then man, I'm just going to tell you, you don't know anything. You don't know anything and you're going to lose all your money. So either you could just like man up, right? And just like, do you know what it takes a man to be able to like listen and learn? That's all. But either which way, if you're in this trade right now and you didn't take your stop loss over here and you're still holding, unless you know where your stop loss is, as we're going here to make a lower low right now, I would be exiting the trade. There you go. There, bump gap. I would be exiting the trade now. You should be on the sidelines. You should be on the sidelines right now. Expect a volatile today because of the quit watching. Could we close at an all-time high? Absolutely. We got a lot. Do we have risk going into the weekend? Not so much. Markets overall, from my perspective, are extraordinarily bullish here. We would have to break down below this area of support on the S&P 500 for the first negative trigger. On the Nasdaq, we have to break below this trend line for the first negative technical trigger. On the Russell, we have to break below this trend line over here for the first negative trigger. And for the Dow, we have to break below this support over here for the first negative trigger. Markets are looking extraordinarily bullish. I don't think the CTM will be in Mexico, but it could be. Listen, we're not going to be looking at any details. What right now, my focus is getting everyone through this bull market. It's the most important thing going on. Towards late 2021, that is absolutely going to become the topic of conversation, and we're all going to figure it out because it really, really, really is largely dependent on what the world looks like, right? What type of travel restrictions we have, and it again, I can't forecast what a year from now is going to look like in this current world. So we're going to need to assess what's going on at that point, and then we'll figure out what's the best, and we'll figure it out. Thank you, Will. No, Bitwise only has the top 10. It's just market noise right now. But we all looked at that since that comment. Let me go back to real time. Oh yeah, of course. I live in yeah, it's got me. Yeah, of course I did. Taco Pastores is the culture. No question about it. Taco Pastores is the culture. So let me come back to real time to see what you all are talking about, what you all doing over there. All right, there we go. Please stop speaking the stuff into existence. I'm not following you, Jason, my brother. I don't know what you're talking about, right? When you're talking about reality, you're not speaking stuff. Be careful with your words. That's why you never curse. Be careful with your words. But looking at the reality of the world, like when people do not have the character to be able to look at what is and acknowledge it, that I can't take. People got so upset with me for talking about the risk in the market going into last weekend, right? With the Supreme Court. Whatever. You got to be able to look at what is, right? What else are we looking at over there? Ooh, I would love myself. So, by the way, has anyone ever had a Blue Bottle New Orleans iced coffee? Best drink in the world. If you never had a Blue Bottle New Orleans iced coffee, go ahead and get one and then let me know about it. All right, what else are we looking at? You mentioned silver will be a good trade, and especially next year, a silver bull run. Could you please elaborate more on that, please? I felt like we've been doing that all week. But look, technically over here, gold and silver are in massive bull markets, right? You're looking at over here, if you just, let me go ahead and put on like maybe a 12-hour so you could all see it. What we're looking at over here is this massive bull market, and now we're looking at this bull flag on both gold and silver. Wait until they break out from the bull flag for the next run, which takes out the all-time highs, in my opinion, on gold. And also silver, take out yearly highs over here on silver, looking to take out this yearly high over here. But I believe in 2021, there's a lot. I mean, listen, everyone should understand what's going on over here. We're looking at the debasement of fiat currencies. We're looking at hard money, gold and silver. Look, we're not going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden central banks are going to be like, oh, listen, we need to be fiscally conservative. And we're not, because their only answer is to continue throwing money at the problem, continuing to keep that music playing until they make that jump over to central bank digital currencies. That's their plan. That's their agenda. Gold and silver, hard money, scarce assets. You're seeing massive inflation. If you look at Kip's industrial metals trades, they are all just screaming. That's the trend over here. There's not. I think for a little while, yeah. I do think that Ethereum continues to outperform Bitcoin, right? And but I also just, asterisk side note, I'm only focused on Bitcoin, right? And I've really been like, as yesterday I had a couple of conversations, one with the godfather of my child, the other, a big shout out, my brother John, and another to my brother. And listen, please, like, if you're gonna, and another, right, to a great friend, brother of mine, listen, if you want to have fun and speculate in alts, make sure you're doing that with a allocation that's purely for speculation. Have fun, keep yourself entertained, but make sure your money's on the trade that matters. All right, let me fast forward to real time over here. I'm falling behind over here. Oh, no inflation. No. Dan, I'm with you, brother. I'm so worried about the housing market in 2021. That's something I'll continue to monitor, right? And we'll see as we see what the government does and if and when what are they talking about? Handing out $600 as like a little carrot as they continue to destroy our world. I'm worried about it. We'll see what happens. JC, we nothing. It's too. The product was just launched. We're still having some price discovery, except when it comes to that to the premium over there. I look, if you're investing in BitW over here, like, and a lot of people, as soon as I bought the product was launched and I brought it to everyone's attention, a lot of people got involved and are sitting pretty. You're looking to hold that through the bull phase of the market. Do not look to trade that. Do not. You're seeing. You can't look at a chart right now. There's someone else mentioned there's been like 8 days of trading, right? So that's that. I'm gonna work through it. Even though I don't have the flow. We're gonna find it. We're gonna make it work. Maybe we'll look at some charts over here, see what's going on, and just till we find out what's going on over here, right? The DXY, right? Is this DXY being bid? By the way, let's go ahead and add this little bit of a trend line over here. This is a big edge over here. You could see that, right? As long as we're below that right now, this is, I guess, the next area over here, 90.43. That's the next area of resistance we're looking for. Let me just draw this in like this. Oh, sorry about that. Let me draw this in like this, right? And if we do get a retest into that area, that's the trade, looking for the resumption. What would that look like, by the way? What would that look like on the euro? Let's take a look at the euro US dollar and see what's going on over there this morning. Wow. So this is the line over here I just put in, right? And put that on the euro. I'll pull back into that area. That would be what would bring our attention for looking for a new trade on the euro. But it's Friday, and I guess that's why I'm not looking at FX, because we need more time to develop before we can start looking here for what's going on. So that's that. Yeah, we don't. So like, just a heads up, this is not a place for talking about stuff like that. So let's not do that here. We don't do that. If we need to talk about a market risk, we'll talk about a market risk. But people, so we don't do that. All right. What are my thoughts about Coinbase going public? I think that I think it's great for the space in the fact that it probably means a lot more lobbyists looking out for our interests, right? I think that, you know what? Look, the question comes down to what's a better investment, the Coinbase IPO when it comes to retail or investing in Bitcoin? And to me, it's a no-brainer, right? That's what it all comes down to. What's a better investment? No. Well, what happens if you want some dividends and you're like the public markets and all this and that? Like, first of all, I mean, I don't like the company itself. I don't think they provide a good service and or product. Like, every time the market's moving, Coinbase goes down. Just be aware that they have hired analytic companies that the community is absolutely irate over. People, it's think of it as the Facebook of crypto, right? You have zero privacy. They're tracking everything you're doing. And I can't get on board with that personally. Now, do I think that, people that buy the IPO and they hold for 5 years are going to do well? Yeah, I would probably say that, but I don't think it's that attractive. I think that I think that if a ETF does get approval, I don't think that people will flee GBTC. I think that you will see the premium come way down on GBTC that when there's more competition. But I also did notice, so this is something I have. No, if you look at what happened to GBTC during the bull climax of 2017, the premium skyrocketed, right? And then you saw it last week as Bitcoin was going Banguster breaking out, the premium was rising on GBTC. That leads me to believe that, as we look towards the end of 2021, that the premium should be pretty high on GBTC. I don't know. Do you think there'll be a ETF launched in 2021? I don't know. If there is, I hope the Winklevoss brothers get it. They deserve it. You could look at Glass Nodes on Twitter for lots of on-chain analytics. That it's going to go up significantly. So right now you have do y'all remember back on, I guess, I don't know, what was it, March or in April, and we're like, listen, look, the Fed just ran the printers. This is uber asset inflationary. Stocks are going to go up from here. And you have the deflation dudes coming out and being like, killing deflationary, and all this nonsense. And at the end of the day, the market is the market, and whatever the market prices in is right. Right? At the end of the day, you put your money where your mouth is, and whoever's right is right, whoever's wrong is wrong. They've now changed their opinion to okay, well, this was temporary inflationary, and now, we're going to go back. Who's right, who's wrong? That's all. Yep, 100%. Kips has been the anchor. Kips is the first one I know that has been the most vocal. He's gotten the most people on the right side of the trade for that. And that's why we all love him. Whether he's dropping bits of wisdom. Kips, you're out of your flow, brother. You haven't even been dropping any gems on us. But, that's why we love him. And it's true. But the commodities are just getting ready to break out, right? They're just getting ready to break out to the bull market. No, I mean, listen, I'm not even referring to that dude. That, by the way, maybe he'll pull a Brent Johnson, right? And much respect for Brent this week. You guys all know I let everyone know. Listen, Brent now is, his mentor who taught him about deflation is now saying not only are we going inflationary, it's already started. And Brent was listening with opening ears and an open mind. How can you not respect someone like that? And that's all. So what else are we looking at? So yeah, I mean, this is why Bitcoiners are great. They've gameplayed all of this stuff. You could look. I'm a big believer in the precious metals. Everyone knows that. But at this particular time over here, Bitcoin is going to destroy them. And then again, when it's time to position out of Bitcoin, we will be looking at the precious metals. And I think that everyone should have some precious metals stored out of country in a vault somewhere, just as a little bit of precaution. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. I love this one, right? Not just, right? Kips is not, and it's not just commodities. When you have the dollar acting strong, even today, right? You got the dollar a little bit of bid today. What do you guys see? Natural gas is trading up, but that's because, by the way, how was our timing over there? Right? Cold winter, just getting started. Anyway, what is up today? Nickel and copper. By the way, I did notice this dance, just pointing it out today, as you're seeing gold and silver slightly off today. And then you see that dance right between the industrial metals and the precious metals. Gold leads inflation 14 months, so next October expect to be a high so far. And what about all these hacks we've been seeing. What's going on with that? That's we've been seeing there's something going on with that. It's not, did you see, what was it? Solar, what's the name of the company? SolarWinds? Did you see that what their password was where they got hacked? This is SolarWinds is, their password was SolarWinds123. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it must have been the Russians. Right, JC? Right? We got Brandon putting a lot of work out there on crypto. We got Heath getting everyone down across the board, whether it's FX, Bitcoin, everything, and Kips that focus on commodities. SolarWinds123. Who picked that password? Right, Jordan. How do you rate? Look, gold and silver are super easy right now, right? You're just waiting for that breakout of those bull flags. Is it really? Yes, it is. I mean, that's interesting, by the way. That's interesting, by the way. And by the way, listen, I've said it from the beginning. I'm not in this trade, but if I were, I would just take full profit today on Friday. I would just take full profit, goal accomplished, and then go back to what Jordan likes to do. If we break above this resistance over here, confirm that into support, there's another entry between here and here, right? There's another $5 to be had over here. And by the way, this looks like a place, if we ever get up into this zone over here, anyway, I can't say that. The only reason oil is rising here is why? Is because the enormous amount of QE, and that money has to go somewhere. That money, right? The banks aren't lending it out. It's got to go somewhere. Where does it go? Asset inflationary. So anyway, it's not because of the fundamentals. It's because of the dumbamentals. This is the wisdom of the day. This is the wisdom of the week, right? Don't ever get cocky or complacent. The markets will humble you in a second. This is right there. There he goes. You just gotta poke the bear, and he wakes up. Right. This is the wisdom of the day. This is the wisdom of the week. Don't ever get cocky or complacent. That brings me back to over here though, where we were on Bitcoin this morning, and I just trying to get everyone uber focused for what's going on over here, right? Because as you see as Bitcoin like starts exploding, everyone's like, yeah, I gotta load up on all, like, the trade is the trade. You have to nail this. These next 9 months have to be done with perfection. It's all right here about the mental psychological aspects over here. Jeffrey laughing at that. Yeah, I think that's a good long-term hold. BitW, I definitely think is, in my opinion, a good long-term hold. What did Heath say over there? I missed it. Just mad respect for Heath. He's a great guy. I absolutely love him. What else are we looking at here, everyone? I think the session is bad. We do have a lot of likes actually, so I guess you guys appreciate the time. Whatever you guys want to talk about or look at, it's Friday. I still feel like the session, it's been an hour and a half. That's not bad, right? Stimulus and gold analyst timestamp. In my opinion, the stimulus is not going to be passed until next year, simply because both sides, they want to see who wins the Georgia runoff. You got to game play it out, right? It's in no one's interest to pass, like, what. So listen, just so you know, in case you don't know, and I believe everyone listening knows, like, the overlords, the politicians, their interests are not our interests, right? What's their interest? Power and control, right? They, like, it's in no one's interest. It's not in their interest to pass the next stimulus bill until they find out which side has the control. That's my opinion. Jordan, what do you think of blockchain small cap equities? I don't think that they're going to compare to Bitcoin. I don't think that they're going to compare to Bitcoin. Let's check it out. Let's check out Chainlink if it's coming back. That sounds like it's testing an area of important support. It's breaking down below it. Over here is the next line. Let's draw it out really quick over there. Remember, these were the two areas of resistance I kept calling out over there. I moved the 1325 up to 1345. So 1325 is also, this is a bubble, a box, right? That whole area over here. So that's the area, and the bottom part of the box over there, that's really what you're looking for. A resumption out of here that does bring up a buy entry, in my opinion, on Chainlink. Everyone is aware of the one risk factor we're all looking at. That risk factor is what? That's if Mutual decides to introduce some regulation. But you got to trade what's on the charts. Even if you get the trigger, you can't let that dissuade you because you have your stop loss in. Look at that over there. Watch that trend line over here. This is something to lean off of. I think Chainlink is looking very attractive. Of note, we've seen Litecoin kind of leading the way over here lately. That's a great sign. Litecoin usually leads over here on alts. And I just want to focus over on here on the Brad line over here. This is a very important line over here. Again, this is also offering some nice opportunity at these levels. I'd be watching this one. I think there's a lot of opportunity over here right now. The only thing that I just really want to focus on is make sure that everyone is position sizing correctly and have their stop losses in. Could we look at the gold to silver ratio and DXY from Tech? So the gold to silver ratio, in my opinion, is going to be favoring silver from here in for a while. Let's take a look at it. I can't find it. So there you go. We've actually broken down outside of that pattern over here, right? I'm with retest, resumption, right? From here on in, I think it's a matter of time here before silver takes out the low here, over here to around 69.50. I think at this point, we're looking at seeing silver outperforming gold. And it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Remember I kept saying silver's starting to look better. It was sorry for the stuttering. All through this period, I was all gold, and then just within the last 2 weeks, I was like, no, silver looks technically better than gold. And now you're seeing this chart pattern break down over here. And in my opinion, it's silver at this point. There you go. That's awesome. There you go. That's awesome. Thanks for just letting everyone keep everyone up to date over there. Look, it's again, if anyone is invested in that, do not trade it. You're looking to take advantage of that for the ride here. Exit when we exit Bitcoin. Happy Friday. Great to see you, Monkey Farming over here, right? Yeah, that's a great help to the whole community. Thanks for doing that for everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, Kips. Thanks for showing your face in here today. Absolutely grateful for it. Have a great weekend. But, Kips, central banks are not buying and holding platinum. They are not. Thank you, Green Eyes. Thank you for that. I'm going to let Kips have the last word here. 36 times more rare. Bye-bye. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Thank you. I enjoyed it. Let's go out with some music over here and just have a... Thank you, Chris. I do appreciate that very much. I was off my game, but that's fine because it was a beautiful week. I'm going to go watch Heath's video. He had up this morning. I want to see what Brandon said about the premiums. It's a Friday. It's a beautiful life. Thank you for being a part of mine. Grateful for you all. Oh. Get this back right. And let me pause that really quick. I just want to make sure that we get that. What's going on over there, folks? I just want to really just really say again, thank you. Really. I appreciate the time. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Maybe I'll have some time today and I'm going to prepare what I'm looking at over here as far as when we're going to be able to call the low of the upcoming bear market phase of Bitcoin. It was like the matrix came together. It's as clear as day. I'm going to let you all know, and I'm going to add that video to the Bitcoin playlist talking about when we'll know where that low. And by the way, why that's important for two reasons. Anything under that is cheap. Second of all, that's going to help us understand where we could have some potential price targets for the bull market peak as well. Anyway, thank you. JC, I didn't see that I didn't see that question. Could you let me know what the question is right now, and then we'll look at it? I don't know what at 10:27 what the question was. I could go back after the live stream and find it, but if you could let me know right now what the question is, I would love to take a look at it together. I'm in no rush to get away from you all. I absolutely love spending time with you all. So let me know. Thank you, Tom. That's what Tom, by the way, this is what Bitcoin does to you. My whole focus, my whole planning is, that's where I'm talking. Well, you're even further out than me, my great-great-grandchildren. I got to get on your page. But I'm thinking of those next generations right now. I really am. JC, I want to know. JC, I want to know if you're still here with us. Trying to give a second. I would love to know what that question was. Otherwise, I will go back to 10:27 and look later and let you all know. Thank you, Alan. Absolutely. I'm grateful for the privilege to be the shepherd, doing my best to keep everyone on the right side of the market over here. All right, for the record, my wife likes spam. Spam is a delicacy over in Hawaii, huh? And I like Dinty Moore beef stew when glamp camping. It's a little long to retype. I'll take a look at it, and we'll take a look at it, right? I can't go back and look at the timestamp right now, right? If it's at 10:27 exactly, I might be able to. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for saying that. What's my favorite movie? Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for saying that. Oh, I'm here. What's my favorite movie? Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for saying that. I can't do it now, Jason. I can't do it right now. What's my favorite movie? I have no idea. I have no idea. My favorite movie is actually, all right, here's my favorite movie. My favorite movie is Jobs, the one with Ashton Kutcher. That's my favorite movie. I also love The Big Short, but the Jobs, the one with Ashton Kutcher, is my favorite movie. And I watched this so many times. My mom, anytime my wife wasn't with me, she'd be like, "What are you crazy?" And my favorite scene in the whole movie is this. This is the most important piece, if you're interested. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie. After Apple does the IPO, Apple's doing the IPO, right? They're all printed mega millionaires. They're all sitting there in the office partying, and Steve walks into the office, and Steve is as serious as can be, and it's business as usual. That was my favorite scene because that's what it's all about. That happened to me the first time that's what the first time I was printed myself a millionaire. That's exactly the perspective that I kept and I had, and it's all because of that movie. That's my favorite movie. It was such a lesson for me. So Steve Jobs, I mean, love him or hate him or anything like that, there's so much to learn there. So yeah, we live stream. Brother, go look in the description. The information you're looking for is right in the description. So I just click down below and look in the description. You're going to see when we're streaming and how to be a part of that. I want you to see that. All right. So there we are. What else are we looking at? It's funny. Bitcoin, by the way, is off 1% today. Right. And it kind of feels weird to everyone. People are like, oh, Bitcoin is dumping. Maybe it will, but it's not yet. And this is just like, it's barely off. Jobs. It's Jobs with Ashton Kutcher. Love it. My favorite movie. It's absolutely phenomenal. All right. Now we can play some music. Oh, so RH. There we go. We got the 1027 timestamp, and maybe this is something that I'll take a look at. Institutional trades are going through OTC trades. How much longer until they have to buy on the market is a summary of his question. All right, couple of things. From my observation, Michael Saylor, right, when he bought that 450 $450 million of Bitcoin, was not buying that in the OTC market. All right. From what Michael has said in podcasts and in interviews, it appears to me that Michael was the one. Michael was doing those trades himself. Michael did all of those buyings. Michael was the only one who had control. And it seems to me that he was doing that on exchange. It seems to me that he has a relationship with Binance also. That part is speculation. When I say relationship, meaning he was using their platform. So whether or not institutional trades are coming through only OTC or not, I have no idea. I do know that if you just look again, we all know it's just as simple. Just keep it simple. Between Cash App and Grayscale alone, they're accounting for more of all of the mined Bitcoin. Now we have PayPal in the mix. Is PayPal actually using rehypothecation or not? I don't know. Now you have all these institutional money. Look, here's the bottom line. There is actually a supply problem. That's the bottom line. There is a legit actual supply problem on Bitcoin, right? And guess what? Numbers about to extraordinarily go up. That's all we could say about that. Brian, interesting. I didn't see that part, but he was told to sit out a while because he was driving up the price and they capped him at 10 million a day. My question has been right now during this last 20% spike up on Bitcoin, has Michael been able to deploy that $750 million yet or not? Right? That's the question I'm worrying about. Yeah, the reason the dollar is up is because it got obliterated. It got slaughtered all week. The dollar got slaughtered, and this is not like the dollar's up. This is like just normal price fluctuation bounce, right? That's all it is. Who is the most important? This is an amazing question. I have the answer to this question, Marcus. There is no important Bitcoin influencer. Roger Ver is the perfect example, as Roger was one of the most important Bitcoin evangelists in the whole space. He has done so much for Bitcoin. And then he thought he was the most important Bitcoin influencer, and Bitcoin ate him alive. Right? Another one. Who is another great? The mayor, Trace Mayer. Trace Mayer was a legend. Trace Mayer was an enormous, important Bitcoin influencer until Trace Mayer thought he was more important than Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin ate him alive. He can't even show his face anymore, right? Wimble, right? He started going to conferences, handing out pieces of paper to people, trying to get them to invest into launching some type of altcoin, and everyone laughed him out of the space. There are no important Bitcoin influencers. Bitcoin doesn't need anyone. There are ambassadors who at certain points play certain roles, right? But Bitcoin doesn't need anyone. The reason Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is simply the best asset. Michael Saylor, right? Listen to some stuff he's spitting out there. So, anyway, thank you, brother. Ooh, I heard chatter. I don't know if it's real or not. By the way, anytime I read something, I can't, I always question it, and I think that's the way to do it. But there is chatter that Ross will be pardoned. That would be an extraordinary event, and let's see. There are Bitcoins, and there's always people looking to sell their Bitcoin, which is amazing because there are people selling over here. There were lots of people selling down over here, and I saw people out on Twitter. I'm selling, like, there are people who are so willing to part with their Bitcoin because they don't understand it. I don't. So listen, I don't think it's going to tank the market. Could we see any possible near term sell off? You got to think of that as opportunity if you do, right? Look, the Bitcoin is not going to be touched in that, right? And again, this is about Bitcoin. Who is the man of the year as far as Bitcoin is concerned? You guys could all answer that one better than me. Who is my man of the year as far as Bitcoin is concerned? Look, I love people who give credit where credit's due. And if you've listened to any Michael Saylor interviews when he talks about the Bitcoin research that's influenced him to be able to understand Bitcoin, those are the heroes, in my opinion, right? And obviously that wasn't something done in 2020. That's stuff done in the past. Those guys are the heroes, and there are so many of them, and they've had so much, and they're just, like, in my opinion, intellectual giants, right? And those guys are amazing. In 2020, there's nobody that for me, Jordan, has influenced. My work has been with all of you, focused here on the charts, and I've just spent as much time as I can sharing my understanding of that 4-year cycle with you. But that's more for you guys to answer. I don't have an answer for that. Yeah, so Ravi, if you go look in the description below, you'll see the information. We go live every day, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, a half hour before the equity markets open. And then every afternoon, Monday through Thursday, I put out an update as well. I didn't see that. All right, beautiful, brother. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. JC, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to meet you all. As we have our CTM meetup. But that's awesome. Thank you for that. But anyway, obviously, whatever. Federal Reserve Man of the Year. I like that one. Thank you, Gene and everybody. Right? Have a beautiful weekend, JC, and everybody. That's awesome. My only regret is it took 3 months. That's fine. You're still early, Jeffrey. You know that, right? That's beautiful. Powell, man of the year. Jordan, thoughts on a diminished bear market in the future due to institutional holders buying in the market? Henry, this is a great question, right? And listen, from where I stand today, everyone has to know two things. Look, I have no desire to be right. I just want to be correct. And I'm a student of the market. So if the market shows me something different, I'm paying attention to it. For example, I'm going to be like, listen, we've only had 3 pullbacks and the max pullback has been twice 20%. I'm paying attention to that, right? I'm still open that we have a 30% pullback, but I'm still open to that. Henry, here's the thing. Number one, I'm not going to short Bitcoin, right? Number two, the last 2 pullbacks have been 85% on Bitcoin. They're right over here. You can see them in a second. We've had the last 2 cycles, 85% pullbacks. I am looking in the next cycle for an 80 to 85% pullback. Now, it is possible, right, for whatever the reasons may be, whether, that we see in the next cycle, maybe like a 60% pullback. But that's not my game plan. Here's the most important thing. I know this. Let me pull up this chart for you. It's not here anymore. I can't pull it up. Maybe I have one more that I can show with you. This over here, what the low is and how far this pullback, I don't know. But I do know over here, this dark green dot, that's 15 months. That's 15 months to the next halving date. That I know is where that Jordan is going to start accumulating. I don't have to know how far of a pullback that is, right? I'm looking for 80 to 85%. Maybe because of the institutional adoption over here, maybe it's less. I don't know, and we won't know it until we know. But what I do know is that 15 months until the next halving, that's when I'm going to start accumulating and into my Bitcoin position again. So again, keep it simple, or that's my approach, right? Is to keep it simple. So, oh man, absolute. Thank you. It's beautiful to be positioned like that, Mike. Will you warn us if there's any reason to get out of GBTC? I always absolutely always communicate with you all. Absolutely always communicate with you all. I'm holding GBTC through the duration of the bull run. All right. So here we go. Let's put on some music. Yeah. And again, for all of you, man, thank you, everyone. What a pleasure. What an honor. What a blessing. 2020 has been extraordinary in developing these relationships. We have crushed it, and 2021 I think is going to be absolutely spectacular. So I'm looking forward to sharing that all with you. If you're not able to make it on Monday and I don't see you, I wish you and your family the most merry, blessed Christmas. May the joy of the newborn king reign in your family, reign in your hearts, and reign in the world. May God continue to bless you abundantly. Be the light of Christ in the world. Spread that love, spread that joy, smile, change someone's day. Where there is no love, give love, and you will receive love. Everyone, beautiful day, beautiful weekend. I love you all, and I'll talk to you all later.